Okay, here we have a topic, reflection in a mirror line. Now this is a topic that for some types of mirror lines this is quite straightforward and most people can do, but the one that causes a lot of problems is diagonal lines, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a second. Okay, so just as the basics, so if I'm doing any sort of transformation, which reflection is one of, all I really need to think about are individual points. So this point A is being reflected in this mirror line to the other side, and so if we draw a line into the mirror, it takes 2 squares to get into the mirror, then on the other side then we should have exactly the same thing from the mirror image, and we'll call that A dashed. So this point is also 2 squares from the line, and it should be at right angles. So this one that's got a horizontal line, C, is going to be 1 square from the mirror line, so its reflection should also be 1 square from the mirror line. Let's actually use a red cross for that, like we should have done there as well. So C dashed, the mirror image of C, and then B is 1, 2, 3, so it needs to be 1, 2, 3 on the other side, and we're going to call that B dashed. Okay, now here so it gets a little bit trickier. Diagonal lines. Okay, with diagonal lines, if the diagonal is going through the corners of a square all the way down this way, then we need to be thinking about the opposite diagonal going the other way. So our point is along this diagonal away from the reflection line, and I've just drawn a diagonal line already, so if I use that to help me to realize where the point's going, so this is at right angles to that one, so it's going in the opposite diagonal, and it's going across 1, 2 diagonals, so the mirror image needs to be 1, 2 diagonals away on this side, so that's going to be our E dashed. Similarly for the D, if I put that in there to help us guide us, come on, stay in the right place, there we go, then D is 1 diagonal away from the line, so it needs to be 1 diagonal on the other side for our D dashed. That's a very poor D, so let's just rub that out and do that again. Okay, so D dashed, so the mirror image D. Now those are all individual points, but if we have lines to do on a shape, then we can just break that down into the corner points. So here are the actual important bits that we need to look at and reflect those. So this point goes 1 square to the other side. This point is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was going to go underneath that one. And quite often, you'll be careful, this one's not quite, it's in the middle there, so you should need to be fairly accurate. Okay, so it's important that you count it out and make sure that everything goes in the right place. Once you've got the corner bits, you should be able to join them up to make the mirror image shape like that. Okay, similarly on this one, if we think about the points that make up the shape, the corners. Okay, any point on the mirror line is not going to be reflected, but this point is 2 away from the mirror line, so it needs to be 2 on the other side. This one is 1, 2, so it needs to be 2 on the other side. This one is 4, and this one is 4, and 2, and 2 there. So if we draw that up, join that up, we get this shape. So okay, it's going to do this quite quickly. It's a little bit rough, but there's our mirror image. Okay, so straight lines, vertical and horizontal, not too bad. Diagonal ones again are going to cause us a bit of problems. Do some construction lines that I pre-drawn. So here we go, a dotted green line here to represent the line I need to follow. to make sure I'm in the right place, and another one here. So we've got 1 point here. Now that's on the line, so that's not going to change. We've got this point which is 1 diagonal away, so it needs to be over here. And we've got this point here that is 2 diagonals away. We've got this point here that is 3 diagonals away, so it's over here. And if we join those up in the right order, we should get our shape. So this one goes to this one, and then up and across, and then down to this one which is on the line. And we get that shape. So that's reflecting in the mirror line. Be very careful with the diagonals. Sometimes it helps to draw lines going the other way, making sure they go exactly through the corners.